Good morning, children. It's nice to see you all back once again. Today, in our virtual class, we're going to learn the non detailed text given for you in the third unit. The third non detail which you're going to learn today is The Hour of Truth, written by Percival Wilde. Since this is a non detailed text, I would narrate the story of this text initially, and then you can go through the text and you can find the new words which you come across, and you can underline them, and you can find the meanings for all those words from the dictionary. And finally, you can write the summary of the non detail, and also you can narrate the story and send it to me. Well, so the story which you're going to learn is The Hour of Truth, written by Percival Wilde. So initially, Percival Wilde, let's know something about Percival Wilde. He is an American author and is also a playwriter. He has written many novels. He's also written many short stories and one-act play. So one such one-act play is The Hour of Truth. So in this particular story, he wants to show about the importance of being honest. That is the value of integrity. That is what he is going to show in the story. So the most important characters in the story are, we can say, Baldwin. The story, revolves or goes around this important character Baldwin, and his bank owner Gresham. Gresham is the bank owner, and the other characters which we have in the story is Martha is the wife of Baldwin, and finally at the end we get the entry of another bank owner, that is his name is Mr. Marshall. He is the president of Third National Bank. So these are the important characters which we find in this particular story. So what is the introduction? So what is the story about? And just we'll know the gist of the story. So the hour of truth, in this particular story, the integrity, the honesty of Baldwin is the dominant trait, is the dominant thing which goes around, because his honesty will be tested. Now, how he overcomes the test, because he has always been very honest throughout his life, and when he is tested very deeply, or in a very difficult situation, was he able to be to show his integrity. So that's what this story is relaying about. So this one act play evidences his craftsmanship of all the involvement of um, time, place, and action. So you can see how all these things come together, and the climax, the climax of the story. It looks like an O. Henry story. So O. Henry's story speciality will always be that there will be a twist in the end. Like some of you would have studied about very few popular, few of his works of O. Henry, like The Gift of the Magi or The Last Leaf, etc. You would have learned such stories. So that is what happens in the end. Now, what really happens in this particular story? Baldwin. So Baldwin is a middle class man. He was earning around 60 pounds in a week. That's what is a very ordinary person, a middle class person, having an income of 60 pounds a week, and he was leading a decent life. He is working in a private bank, and the owner of the private bank was Mr. Gresham. They are not only employees, or he is not only a subordinate to Gresham, but he was also a very good, faithful friend for Gresham. They were close friends, not for a day or a few years, for almost for 30 years. They both were very close friends. So Baldwin, how close they were, in the sense, is Baldwin, Christians means they take baptism, and they give name for the child, children. So he names his child, he christens his son Baldwin, his son, as Gresham, because that much love and affection he had towards his owner Gresham. So his son as Gresham Baldwin. He named his son as Gresham Baldwin. He leads a contented life. He was not greedy about certain things, or um, he didn't have so much, too much of dream or something like that. He was happy with with what he had. He lived a decent, contented life. He finds out that later on he comes to know that his boss has been misappropriating money very cleverly. Misappropriation, that is not, that is, you can say, not bringing it in the account. So misappropriating, misusing the money in the bank from the bank cleverly. He comes to find out, which he was shocked. Initially, he didn't because he trusted his friend so much. Initially, he didn't know that he was misappropriating, but later on, he comes to find that his boss was misappropriating all the funds from the bank. Very cleverly, he was doing that without being caught. But technically speaking, because of this misappropriation, is the people who are deposited in the bank, they are not going to be affected. Somehow, they will not get any big loss. But the act was wrong. It was like cheating. So, Baldwin comes to know, and he speaks to Gresham about this. So he told Grisham, see, it's better you close the bank and return back the money to the depositors. That's what he asked. Then Gresham also promised that, okay, I'll return back the money. Only thing is, when people come for raid or when they come for checking, for these accounts, everything, if at all if they find wrong, he requested them to tell that he has forgotten some details. He requests Baldwin to say, the only thing you say, what you have to say is, you say that you have forgotten some details, that's all. I will look after other things. Like that, he wanted Baldwin to say that, so that he will not be punished. Because the act, it is a criminal thing. It is like cheating. But for that, he also promised Baldwin that he will give him around $1,000, which is even if his salary for so many years, he has not got that much money. So he said, I will give you $1,000. So only thing what you have to do is, when the people come for doing investigation, you just say that I forgot certain details. That's all. I will try to come out of this. I'll try to escape from this. Like that. But for Baldwin, this is a testing time. He has lived a honest life throughout, and he didn't want to tell a lie, because he himself wanted to confess that his owner has done something wrong. So Gresham thought if he did like this, Gresham would come out of the problem safely. But initially, Baldwin was shocked by the offer. He didn't know how to respond to the plea or the request of his owner. So he came to his house and he spoke to his wife Martha and his son as well about the offer which the owner has made. He expected what he thought was his wife and son. They all were very proud of his honesty, and he thought they will never encourage him to get the money, $1,000. That also, Gresham has told Baldwin that don't think that you're getting bribed for it. Just think that it's an additional money I'm giving for your salary. For so many years, I'm not given you enough salary. So it is like an additional arrear amount which I'm going to give for you. Like that, you take it. You don't take it like a bride. Like that also he has told. So when he spoke this to his wife and son, they wanted him to accept the money. On hearing the handsome offer, both the wife and son persuaded him to take the money, and as it was just a technicality, and they tried to convince him by saying that, look, the depositors, the people who have deposited the money on the bank, when they are not going to be affected, you need not hesitate to get the money. That's what his wife Martha and the son persuaded him, requested him to do it. Actually, Baldwin had a faith that his family regarded his integrity far higher than material gain. What he thought was no more than the money which he gained or which he earned. He thought his family members valued his integrity, honesty. But when he learned this, his son and family members were trying to convince him to take the money. He felt disgusted. He started to hate everyone and himself, because the kind of thought, the moment, because his value is lost more than his character, because people are not valuing his character. But they are very becoming getting greedy after money. So he's become disgusted. Just then, so he couldn't go and tell this in the court to save his boss Gresham. So he was in the house. At the time, this character enters, Mr. Marshall. He was the president of at another bank, that is Third National Bank. He was the president of this particular bank. He came and informed Baldwin, that his boss, Mr. Gresham. See, finally, you need not come and give the conviction. I mean, you need not come and speak for your boss. He himself confessed. He himself confessed that I was the one who. He confessed that he was guilty. I was the one who committed the crime, or the misappropriation. It was done by me, and he confessed that he was guilty. So he had told him that $100,000 couldn't shake Baldwin's integrity, and he has told Mr. Marshall that I was ready to offer the $100,000 to Baldwin, but that could not shake his honesty. Still, he was not shaken by looking at the money. Though he had told him that it was a difference of salary he had paid and what he had to have paid. Though I promised him, it is not a bride which I am giving to you, it is only the difference of salary which I should have given to you in the past, which I am giving it to you. Even then, his integrity was not thrown out. So he said, Gresham finally realized that he did not want him to undergo the pain of testifying against him in the court. So Gresham himself decided, let him not be tested more than this. He is being an honest person, and let him not be tested more than this. And so Gresham, he himself confesses that I was the one who did this misappropriation. I'm guilty of misappropriation. So he confessed. And looking at his honesty, Mr. Marshall. So even previously the wife might would say that, see, after that the bank also will be closed, and what are you going to do for an earning? So many things were questioned by the wife. But because of his honesty, another bank president, Mr. Marshall, knowing this, he says Baldwin that I respect your integrity, your honesty. Hearing this, Baldwin cried. Not only because he got job from Mr. Marshall, also because he was saved from being tested. No, this test is over. He wanted to be a honest person, and he remained the same. So when he heard that Gresham has confessed on his own, he really cried, and also now he is rewarded for his honesty, as he was given an employment in Third National Bank by the president, Mr. Marshall. His heart felt light. Mr. Marshall offered him a position in his bank. This has been the honor conferred to his honesty. This is how he was rewarded for being honest. Well, children, this drama, this one act play, reflects the problems of modern society. This is one of the main problems of modern society. People are valuing riches, money, and materials more than honesty or integrity. That's what people are valuing. But here from the story, we have to know that being honest, finally, you are rewarded at the end. Your reward is always there at the end, reaffirming the common faith. That is, that common faith people say is honesty is always rewarded. Honesty is the best policy. So you can see that finally Baldwin was rewarded for his honesty. So like that, in this modern society, let us not be deceived by material things. Sometimes it may test our character, but let us always try to be honest. Let us deserve something. Let us not be greedy against things. Let's have faith in God that if not today, but in the end, we will be rewarded for what we deserve. I hope you all enjoyed this moral, which Percival Wilde tells through this story, The Hour of Truth. Well, children, now you can go through the text. You can mark all the new words which you come across and find the meanings for them, and then you can write the summary for the text, and also later on you can narrate the story. Thank you. Have a nice day.